built. Oh, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest friend, but wholly trust in Jesus' name. Sing Christ alone. Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. Sing, when darkness seems to hide His face, I rest on His unchanging grace. In every high and stormy gale, my anchor holds within the veil. Oh, sing, my anchor holds within the veil. Oh, it's Christ alone. You are my cornerstone. Made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. See, Christ alone, Christ alone. You are my cornerstone. Weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. When He shall come with trumpet sound, oh, may I then in Him be found, dressed in His righteousness alone, faultless to stand before the throne. Oh, in Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. Oh, we thank you, Lord. Sing Christ alone, Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, oh God, you are Lord of all, Lord of all. Sing the chorus one more time. Sing Christ alone. Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. Oh, Christ alone. Oh, it's Christ alone. Only you, Lord. Only you, Lord. Only you, God. Oh.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Tuesday, starting off a new week. How you doing, babe?
I'm good. Feeling a little sleepy, but I'm good.
A little sleepy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's wake up with some good news today. Let's get the theme song. Let's go.
Let's go.
Joy, pain, ups, downs, on working all day.
Everything.
Everything's gonna be okay. Gonna hear some good news today.
Come on, come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
joys, pains, ups, downs, on working all day. Everything's gonna be okay.
What's up, Mom? Hey,
God so
Sarah.
loved the world that he gave his
Perkins.
only begotten Son,
Everything's gonna be okay.
that whosoever will believe in him shall not perish but have
Everything's gonna be okay.
everlasting life.
Gonna hear some good news today.
Yo, turn my mic up. Y'all ain't see this coming.
Go. Come on.
Get ready to catch this. Come to snatch your righteous mind, not your edges. God is the goal, and then there's the period. This thing is real. Whoop, child, we serious. Intentional, the original. God is in control. Do it for your soul. Gotta let the whole world know. Hey, yo, hey, yo.
Get down, girl. Go ahead. Get down. Get down, girl. Go ahead. Get down.
Everything's gonna be okay. Gonna hear some good news
No, a little
The
bit.
camera's weird.
Yeah.
It's what?
Good morning, while she fixes her hair.
It's like a mirror.
I know.
It's kind of
Good-
weird.
Good morning, y'all.
Good
Yo,
morning.
so good to see y'all. We're starting off a new week. Yo, if you're on Facebook, share it with somebody. Invite somebody to come and join us. Or on YouTube, like and subscribe to the page. Hook it up.
I always share. And when
You
I'm
always
on,
share?
I always forget to share,
Oh, yeah.
like beforehand. So
So, babe, how was the weekend?
it's good. That's always a hard question because I usually
gotta
can't
remember
remember
what
what
you
the
actually-
weekend is, what it entailed.
Well, you were here with the girls. Me and
Here with the
Isaac,
girls.
we went on a little trip.
Yeah, you guys went on a trip. Me and the girls, we went and got cookies and went to Barnes and Noble's, one of their favorite stores, and bought books that we can buy cheaper on Amazon. I'm there, Mom. We're walking around the store, and they're like, I'm like, it's $5 cheaper on Amazon. And I'm like, well, I want it right now. We did that, and we went and got cookies from Crumbles. Have you guys ever had Crumbles? If you live in this area, this place called Crumble Cookies.
It's in other areas too.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a mom and pop right now, but right here.
No, I was
But-
surprised. I was in I was in Arizona
Oh,
at the
okay.
global leadership thing, and they had crumbles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those cookies are like, it's so bad. But yeah, so we got cookies and fries from just a bunch of junk, and then came back and watched that movie. What was it called?
Turning
Something
Red?
about Red. Yeah, Turning Red. So yeah, so we just chilled, and then I went to bed, and they stayed up late, and we went to church on Sunday.
Did you like Turning Red?
I did. It was good. I didn't agree with all the stuff, but it was good.
What was that? What do you mean?
Well, I was just telling them, this whole like, I'm 13, I can make my own choices and do my own thing. And I think she learned from that in the end, but
Right. Well, and I had no idea that the whole concept was around like it's about coming of age, but it's about puberty. It's about a woman's menstrual cycle. Did you pick up on that theme?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I picked up on that.
hey. It get weird?
Yeah.
It got weird?
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk about that right now, bro.
I'm not trying to talk about it either. I'm just saying I didn't know
Yeah.
that that's what the thing was about. I just
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
me and Isaac, we went on a little trip together. I had to preach up in Sacramento, and he went with me, and we had a good time.
Yeah, homie did not like the plane ride.
He hadn't been on a plane in a few years, and it was like it freaked him out. That takeoff was like it was a little crazy. It was a little crazy, but he got it together, and he was all right. But he freaked out a little bit. He said, awkward. And then Sunday night, at the last minute, we got tickets to the Jodeci, Charlie Wilson, and New Edition concert. And it was amazing. So Bethany was my date. We went and we had a good time. It's like that old school R&B right there.
Welcome, Lisa Cross. She said she's loving her new church home here at Fellowship.
Oh, welcome
To
Lisa.
Fellowship.
Yeah. Well, we're a little bit more uncut on this program.
Yeah.
than on Sundays. We're also bringing up inappropriate stuff. a little off center, I feel like.
And my hair is too. It's like, this is like really annoying me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Anyway.
Sunday, Tiana preached.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in this series,
Unexpected King.
Unexpected King.
There you go.
There we go. Now I feel like
You're off center.
I'm a little
Like it's
off.
me. Like you put me in the middle. There we go.
yeah, there we go.
That's
a little
better. There we go.
And then we both move, so it gets off. But anyway,
Yeah.
I would have been your date to that concert. Oh, yo.
Oh, you know
Let me
what?
tell you
My mom
something.
would have loved that.
Oh
too.
yeah, Charlie. And so Bethany, we got Jodeci, Charlie Wilson, New Edition, and I was like, so Bethany, who'd you like most? She's like, oh, I like the Charlie Wilson guy. He was great. He was my favorite.
It was like she like the oldest person there, but he
Uncle
actually
Charlie.
gives the best show.
He was on show, but now, real talk, New Edition shut it down.
Yeah,
Like
they're good, but I love some Charlie.
New Edition was dancing. Well, most of 5 of them. Bobby would opt in and out on what dances he would do. Bobby would be like, and then you realize every little step was coming up next. So on the song before that, Bobby was like, I gotta preserve my energy, so I ain't gonna do all these steps. And then he came out, but it was a great time, great time. So Sunday, Tiana preached on the passage Luke 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's the woman with the alabaster. Well, it's the sinful woman that anointed Jesus's feet. And it's Luke chapter 7. It begins at verse 36, and then goes to the end of the whole deal. Should we, y'all want to read it? Yeah, so y'all grab your Bibles and meet me in Luke chapter 7, verse 36. Do like the old school passage. Read. That's you, read.
Who is your reader?
You. It's right there.
Okay. One of the Pharisees.
One
asked him
of the Pharisees. Only one. Go ahead. Read.
We are not going to do this. I am not the one, homie. I'm not the one. Asked him to eat with him.
With him, he ate. Read.
We're going to all read this silently because what I'm not going to do is read this while you act like you're 70 years old
What,
in a
man?
Southern Baptist church. No, sir.
Okay. I'm not gonna do it. Go ahead.
No offense to Southern Baptist churches. Love them all.
Go ahead.
And he went into the Pharisee's house.
The
and-
Pharisees' house.
You got it one more time. Stop.
Read. Okay. I'll read it. Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. And behold, a woman of the city who was a sinner, when she learned that he was reclining at table in the that he was reclining at table.
At table.
Yeah, it's just at table in the Pharisee's house. Brought an alabaster flask of ointment, and standing behind him at his feet, weeping, he began to wet his feet. She began to wet.
This version may not be the best version.
I am so sorry.
What is this? He began to wet his feet.
Yeah, let's just read the Bible.
Translate, then read.
Oh
All right,
my
we're gonna
God.
go to the word. Go ahead.
She
man.
wiped his feet with her hair, kissing them and anointing them with her perfume. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, "This man, if he were a prophet, would know who and what kind of woman this is who is touching him. She's a sinner." Jesus replied to him, "Simon, I have something to say to you." He said, "Say it, teacher." A creditor had 2 debtors. One owed 500 denarii and the other 50. Since they could not pay it back, he graciously forgave them both. So which of them will love him more? Simon answered, "I suppose the one who forgave more." He forgave more. "You have judged correctly," he told him. Turning to the woman, he said to Simon, "Do you see this woman? I entered your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she with her tears has washed my feet and wiped them with her hair. You gave me no kiss, but she hasn't stopped kissing my feet since I came in. You didn't anoint my head with olive oil, but she has anointed my feet with perfume. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven. That's why she loved much. But the one who is forgiven little loves little. Ouch. Then he said to her, your sins are forgiven. Those who were at the table with him began to say among themselves, who is this man who even forgives sins? And he said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace.
That's good. The devil didn't want us to get through that, did he? He tried to stop the reading of the word of God. So, babe, what stood out? What was one of the big takeaways?
Oh my gosh. So many. I would say the first one. Tiana drove the point of her first point was unexpected acceptance. And one of the things she said, many things, but one of the things she talked about is just, people and self-rejection and how I think she said something like, if you don't, what is it? Basically, like, if you are in a place where you constantly are self-deprecating and self-rejecting, then you're not going to be able to receive the love and grace of God. Yeah. And just talked about the importance of her knowing her sin and being so aware of her sin that she knew who he could forgive her. She went to his feet and was like, I know I'm a sinner and I know I need you. And whereas Simon was just as much of a sinner, wasn't aware of his sin. And so he wasn't aware of his sin. So he was judging her, not even aware that, I need to be at Jesus's feet too.
Yeah.
And that's why, Jesus called him out and told that parable. It's like, you need grace just as much as she does, but you're so focused on her sin that you can't even see your own. And that was another point Tiana drove too. It's just like, sometimes with us, what was the point she made about, sometimes when she said, with Jesus, it's an even playing field. But for us, sometimes it's easier for us to see the sin in somebody else's life because we don't want to be on their level. Because if we're on their level, I can't be better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, ouch, 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 but yeah, it was good.
I like what you said earlier. Before we got on, we were talking a little bit about the message. And there's a moment where Simon says something in his heart, and Jesus responds to what he says in his heart out with his mouth. So it just provoked a question. What are some of the things that we say in our heart that Jesus is calling us out, that Jesus is calling out?
Yeah.
And I think even with self-awareness and seeing our own sin, but also seeing the invitation of Jesus, are there some things that we say to ourselves that are in disagreement or misalignment with what God says about us and what God understands about us? And are there things that we say in our heart about other people that's misaligned with what God would say?
Yeah.
I guess one of the things is what we're thinking in our heart and what we're thinking in our minds and in our thoughts are very audible to God.
Yeah.
Which is a little unnerving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's your heart speak. What does your heart speak? What does your mind speak? And what kind of conversations are you having with yourself? And we need to begin to think through the lens of we're having that conversation with ourselves and with God, because God is a part of that conversation. You know what I mean? I just think it's something too. Homeboy didn't even say nothing. He just thought it. And Jesus said, let me talk to you about your thoughts.
That's good.
Let me speak to you concerning your thoughts.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if one of the takeaways for our time together today is Jesus wants to speak to us concerning our thoughts.
Yeah.
He's like, let me speak to you concerning your thoughts. Let me That soul talk is deep. That's good,
Yeah.
Denise.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's our soul talk?
Yeah.
What's our soul talk? What are the conversations? What's one of the things that you say to yourself about yourself, or that you what's one of your soul conversations that you probably need to surrender, and then I'll do one too.
Wow.
Sorry, I kind of put you on the spot. I'll go first. I play myself really small. So I tend to shrink when I think God's calling me to shine. I tend to really become overly consumed with other people's interpretation of my confidence. I'll say that again. I become overly consumed with other people's interpretation of my confidence. In other words, if I really lean in, are people gonna think I'm arrogant? Or are people gonna think I'm doing the most? Or are people what do other people think about me if I truly show up as me? So I sometimes tend to play small, or even believe small. So I want to do something really big, but I probably should just do small, because people don't. You see what I'm saying? So I'm having a conversation with myself, talking myself out of believing big. And I think God would say, let me talk to you about your thoughts. And he would say, your thoughts are too much about you and need to be way more about me and what I can provide and what I want to do. So my thoughts are a lot about me, how I'm, and God's like, yeah, you think about yourself way too much. Somebody said, in your 20s, you think a lot about what people think about you. In your 30s, you start not to care as much about what people think about you. In your 40s, you realize what nobody thinking about you at all. they was never even thinking about you. Ain't nobody even thinking about you. So a part of that's been a part of my conversation. I think if God was saying, let me speak to you concerning your thoughts, it's like your thoughts are way too much about yourself and how you're being interpreted, and it needs to be about me and how I'm being interpreted through your life. I feel like that would be mine. And that's a good, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's a really good one. Proverbs 23:7.
Yeah. It's funny because the question that Tiana asked was for us to ask ourselves was, what's the lie that you live into regularly?
That's good. What's the lie that you live into regularly?
Yeah.
But don't have us be the only ones in here doing this. Y'all put yours in the comments. What's the lie you live into regularly? Allowing negative thoughts to magnify larger than what God says about me. That's great, Ruth. Come on. See, we all doing it together.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to decide if I want to put myself out there right now.
Well, you just you don't have to pick a big one. You can pick a.
No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of lies, but
yeah, just pick one.
I think too much about what other people think. You know, and then I let that dictate a lot of what I do or don't do, actually. A lot of what I don't do, you know, and people probably aren't thinking about it, but I think that's the enemy's tactic, is what do people think if I do that, or if I don't do that, you know, or if I do it like this, or, you know, or am I doing enough, you know?
That's good. I mean, that my gift is not valuable, that I am what I achieve, the fear of failure, allowing the devil to magnify my insecurities while doing what God's called me to do. This is so good that I procrastinate, but it's more from lack of confidence.
I get that, Miss Robin.
That's good lie, that I need to know every detail before making a move forward. That's a good one. I think I'm not good enough.
Not trusting he wants what's best for me. That's good, Lisa. I think one of the things I was away on a discipleship trip this past weekend, and I did a lot of crying, way too much crying. But when I got back, I was just sitting with the Lord, and because a lot of my struggle this. I mean, I think in the last few years, it's like gifting and calling and all those things. And I feel like God had to like stop me in my tracks when I got back. I was journaling and just kind of praying, because I decided when I left there, it's like, okay, Lord, like I got to find contentment in where I am, and trust that you're working all the things out. And like God had to show me that this whole like pursuit of what is my calling, what is my gifting, had become an idol. And that's like, because I was like, I'm crying about this a lot, and I'm like talking about it a lot, and I, and it becomes so much of a focus. And it was like one of those things in my devotional that I was this Lent devotional I was doing, it talked about like, has your pursuit of God become something more than actually a pursuit of God? Because it's like, I want to know my calling, so I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling my role in the kingdom. And but I think it had come to a place where I'm like seeking him so much for him to tell me what that is. Like, I literally want you to write it on the wall. This is what you are made for. And and he's not doing that. And I think it was like when I was reading that devotion, it was like, wow, that's kind of become an idol. Like, I'm seeking God because I really want him to tell me, like, this is what you're good at. This is why I've called you. This is what you're gonna, do for me. And I was like, that's not what I wanted it to be about, though, Lord. So I had to like say, okay, I gotta take that off the table and like be content and really just seek him for him. And I don't know, that was really hard to like write down, that like that had really become an idol in my life.
That's why I've never heard you say that before.
It's just because I literally just learned it Saturday, and you weren't here when I wrote it down. I mean, and I was deciding whether I wanted to put myself out there like that, but here we are.
So that's become an idol.
Yeah.
And what to do with the idols, right?
Yeah, they need to be. To be put aside, put Jesus back as the center.
Yes. Because Jesus idols aren't destroyed; they have to be replaced.
They have to be replaced. Yeah.
So you got to replace the idol.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's profound. That's really good. That's really great insight, because it could just become a rehearsed. Now you're just rehearsing the lie through the lens of a prayer request or a prayer petition, but you're really just rehearsing a lie. You find you get something out of venting that idol. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's good. That's heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It sucks. Excuse my words.
But I think that's powerful.
Yeah, no, it is. It just, it's when you have to come face to face with like yourself and just like, no, I really thought I was pursuing you for you. And it's like, yeah, for a while, you were, but somewhere along the way, it became about like, Lord, you have not, like, I need this. I think if I get this, I will be okay. And he's like, no, if you get me, you will be okay.
Come on.
And come like, on. I thought that's what I was pursuing. It's like, yeah, somewhere along the way went sideways.
Well, to go back to this passage, it's the difference between Simon's posture and the woman's posture. Yeah. Simon wasn't aware of his need, and this woman was. She knew exactly what she needed. And that was to give gratitude to Jesus for what he had done. And so I think the posture of surrender and gratitude for who he is, and just trusting that the assignments will come along the journey and along the way. Yeah.
I was even asking God to bring to me verses about contentment, and like how Paul said, I can be content in whatever situation I'm in, when I have a lot and when I don't have anything. Yeah. And that's the verse that he brought to me first. And I was like, whoa, okay, here we go. I'm gonna be content in whatever. Because I think at the end of the day, and I've said this before, but I think more so now than anything, I wanna that day, jeez, when I stand before God, I want to be able to say, I want to hear him say, you, well done. And if
Yeah.
that means like, it doesn't, it's not, that means it's not going to look the way I want it to look. But if being obedient to God is just staying in a place of contentment and saying like, whatever you bring, that's, you know, that's where I'll be. And until you move me, I'm staying here. That's what it needs to look like. And some days I realize it gets off because you look at other people's lives and you look at what other people are doing and you're like, can I do that too? And do whatever else I'm doing? And God's like, no, like that's their life. Their lives are different from yours. And, you know, and it gets hard.
Yeah.
It does. But I really, at the end of the day, I want to be able to, I want to hear him say, well done. And if he has to keep bringing me back to, you know, like, you know, what are you seeking? What are you seeking for right now? Are you seeking me or are you seeking me for something? Then, you know, Lord, keep bringing me back to that. Because at the end of the day, I want to hear him say, well done.
Yeah.
Jeez. Did not mean to go there this morning. Sorry.
That's so good. Well, if that didn't bless you, I don't know what will. Thank you for blessing us, babe. That was really good. We'll see y'all tomorrow.